Hello students, in last lecture we discussed about the Fredholm and Volterra integral equation, then first kind and second kind of the Fredholm and Volterra integral equation. Now we are going through some remarks which are based on the structure, limit, linearity property, homogeneity property, which is based on the Fredholm and Volterra integral equation. So first of all, the structure of an Fredholm and Volterra integral equation. The first remark is the unknown function u of x appears linearly only under the integral sign in linear Fredholm and Volterra integral equation of the first kind. For this we have to look at the first kind Volterra and Fredholm integral equation. So this is the first kind of Fredholm integral equation. So what this remark said, the unknown function u of x, here is u of t, the unknown function u of t is appear only under the integral sign. Okay, look at this equation, f of x plus lambda integral a to b k x t u of t dt is equal to 0. So here the unknown function u of t is appears only under the integral sign. This is integration a to b. So the unknown function u of t is appear only under the integral sign. Also in the first kind Volterra integral equation, the unknown function u of t is appear only under the integral sign. Okay, this is our integration a to x k of x t u of t dt. So here here the unknown function u of t is also appear only under the integral sign. So this is our first remark. Then the second is the unknown function u of x appears linearly inside the integral sign and outside the integral sign as well in the second kind of both linear Fredholm and the Volterra integral equation. So what is this? In the second kind of Volterra and the Fredholm integral equation of the second kind, the unknown function u of x is appear outside as well as inside of the integral sign. So look at here, this is the second kind Fredholm integral equation. Here the unknown function u of x is appear inside the integral side as well as outside the integral side. Also in the Volterra integral equation, the unknown function u of x will appear inside the integral side as well as outside the integral sign. So these are the about the structure of the Fredholm and the Volterra integral equation. Then the second is limit of integration. So what is the limit of integration? In the Fredholm integral equation, the integral is taken over the finite interval with the fixed limits of integration. However, in the Volterra integral equations, at least one limit of the range of integration is a variable and the upper limit is the most commonly used with the variable limit. For this we have to look at the standard forms of the Volterra and Fredholm integral equation. Now this is the standard form of the Fredholm integral equation. So this is about the limit of the integration. So in the standard form of the Fredholm integral equation, the limit of the integration are the finite constant number a and the b, while in the Volterra integral equation the limits are the one limit of the integration is a constant number any a and the another is the variable x, and most probably the variable should be an upper limit. Okay, so this is about the limits of the Fredholm and the Volterra integral equation. Now the next is linearity property. So what is this? The first, the unknown function u of x in the Fredholm and Volterra integral equation of the second kind occurs to the first power wherever it exists. Okay, so we know that the linearity properties. What is a linear equation? The linear equation is an equation which has an power 1. Okay, so for the integral equation to be an linear equation, we have to find out that the unknown function either it has an power 1 or other than 1. Okay, so look at the second kind. Look at the second kind Fredholm as well as an Volterra equation. This is second kind Fredholm integral equation. Now look at here, the unknown function u of t is appears with an power 1. Okay, the unknown function u of t is appear with only power 1. There is no power other than 1. Okay, so this is the linear Fredholm integral equation. As well as in the Volterra integral equation of the second kind, the unknown function u of t here and here is appear with the power 1. Okay, so this is also linear Volterra integral equation of the second kind. This is about the linearity property, and the another concept is a non-linear. Okay, in non-linear Fredholm and Volterra integral equation arise if u of x is replaced by a non-linear function f of ex such as u square x, u cube x, e raised to ux and so on. Okay, so in a non-linear, what is a non-linear concept? Which is an opposite of a linear. In the linear equation the power should be 1, while in the non-linear equation the power of the u of x must be other than 1, that is either it is 2, 3 up to so on, and either this function is a function of another one. Okay, it is of the form f of ux, that is such as u square x, u cube x, means there is an power another from 1, and it is a function like e raised to ux or sine of ux or cos of ux, tan of ux, etc. So these are the non-linear function. When any integral equation which contains a non-linear factor or non-linear function u of x, then this function or this integral is said to be a non-linear Fredholm or the Volterra integral equation. Okay, so this is about the linearity property. Now some examples of a non-linear integral equation. So the first example is u of x is equal to f of x plus lambda integral a to x k x t u square t dt. Now look at here, we have to look at the unknown function. Here the unknown function is u of t appears with an power 2. Okay, so this is a non-linear function, non-linear integral equation, and look at the integral or limit of the integration. Here the limit of the integration is upper limit is x and lower limit is a. Okay, so this is an Volterra equation. We know that in Fredholm integral equation the limits are the constant number a and b, while in the Volterra integral equation the one limit is variable and the another limit is a constant number. So this is an Volterra integral equation, but it is a non-linear equation as the unknown function u of t has an power 2. Okay, this is not a linear. Then the second is u of x is equal to fx plus lambda integral a to x k x t e raised to ut dt. Okay, so here also the unknown function is e raised to ut. This is, it has an another function of an u of x, okay, which has a no linear function. So this is a non-linear. Also it is an Volterra since the limits of the integration is one is variable and the another is constant number. Now the third is u of x is equal to fx plus lambda integral 0 to 1 k x t sine of ut dt. Now we have to look at, this is a non-linear since the unknown function is a sine of ut. Okay, and now the limits of the integration are 0 and 1, which are the constant numbers. So this is an Fredholm non-linear integral equation. Okay, now where the linear function u of x in first has been replaced by the non-linear function u square t e raised to ut and sine of ut respectively. So these are the all non-linear functions as the unknown function is replaced by this u square t e raised to ut and the sine of ut. This is about the linearity property and the non-linear function or the non-linear integral equation. And the next is homogeneity property. If we said f of x is equal to 0 in the Fredholm and Volterra integral equation of the second kind given by the equation, then the resulting equation is called as a homogeneous integral equation. Otherwise it is called as a non-homogeneous or inhomogeneous integral equation. For this we have to look at the second kind of Volterra and the Fredholm integral equation. So this is an Fredholm integral equation of an second kind. So for the homogeneity property we have to put f of x is equal to 0. If we put f of x is equal to 0 in this equation, so we get ux is equal to lambda integral a to b k x t u of t dt. So this type of equation, if we put f of x is equal to 0, then we get equation ux plus lambda integral a to b k x t u of t dt. This type of equation is said to be an homogeneous equation. Okay, and homogeneous equation in case of Fredholm integral equation. And while if we put f of x is equal to 0 in the Volterra integral equation of an second kind, we get ux is equal to lambda integral a to x k x t u of t dt. And this is said to be an homogeneous Volterra integral equation of the second kind. So this is about the homogeneity property about the integral equation of second kind in the Fredholm-Volterra integral equation. And the last concept is singular behavior of an integral equation. An integral equation is called a singular if the integration is improper. This usually occurs if the interval of integration is infinite, or if the kernel becomes unbounded at some or more points of the interval of consideration a less equal t less equal b. So what is a singular behavior? An integral equation is called singular if the integration is improper. So what is an improper integration? Improper integration is an integration whose limits are not finite. Either its one limit is infinite, or both the limits are infinite. This is our improper integration. Okay, so this usually occurs if the interval of the integration is an infinite. Interval of the integration means the limit are the infinite. That is, if we have given any function like u of x is equal to f of x plus lambda integration 0 to infinity k of xt sin of ut dt. So this type of equation, integral equation, here the limits of the integration, one limit is 0 but the another limit is not finite, it is an infinite limit. So this is nothing but the singular integral equation. Okay, or if the kernel becomes unbounded at one or more points of the interval of the consideration. And the another one is when the kernel is unbounded at one or more points of the interval. So in that case also this is a singular integral equation. So in this lecture we go through the concept structure of Fredholm-Volterra integral equation, then limits of the integration, linearity property, homogeneity property, and singular behavior of the integral equation. So in next lecture we go through the next part of our chapter.